Hello everyone, I'm Lontro doing my last submission to SGDQ 2022. This is gonna take way longer than the other ones because this is Octo Expansion All Missions, which is a 3-hour category. We have a bit of an opener to start OE, so I'm gonna explain like what's up with this category as we go. Okay, so timing starts as you select the character. So let's talk about this, right? So what is Octo Expansion All Missions? In the OE Metro map, there are 26 different stations that we have to do for the any% speedrun, but there's a total of 80 of them scattered across the map. The all missions run essentially boils down. Would you like to play video? There you go. The all missions run, what we're going to do, we're going to first complete the any% run. We'll do the 26 missions, we'll go to escape, do the escape, turf war, then we'll reset our game. Just go to the home menu, close the game, reopen it, whatever. Do the last 54 missions, and then you do the Inner Agent 3 fight, and that's your speedrun. The world record for this category is 2 hours and 52 minutes by Hashtrice. My PB is 3 hours and 4 minutes. Now you may be wondering, okay, so your top level, at like all these different Splatoon 1 categories and some Splatoon 2 stuff. So why am I submitting a category that I'm 12 minutes behind world record in? The reason for this is because this category is absolutely nuts, has never been shown before at a GDQ, and like is just a completely different experience to everything else. You know? Like I feel like this is just such a unique pick compared to all the Splat 1 stuff that I've submitted. Like I could submit Splat 2 OE any%, but I don't really feel like it's changed a lot since when Tones did it back in like 2018, 2019. Like, I have a better PB than Tones now, but it doesn't make me feel like the actual run is that different. So that's my justification. Would you like to actually play? Why is YouTube pausing on me? I don't understand. I just want to listen to my piano tunes. Come on. So, yeah, I've put a lot less time into all missions total, and the reason for that is I'm focusing on the 80% category. This, any% in the all missions run is actually my current PB in any%, a 108.07. I've been on pace in the last couple of days so many times to beat this run, because it's not the best. I'll be the first to tell you this any% run is not the best. The escape's good, but the right side is just tragic. So, I don't know. I'm really trying to beat it right now. But it's a really good start, and we get to explain like a lot of Octo expansion mechanics. So let's see what's going on right now. We basically just talked to the telephone. Also, this run, I believe I'm doing this in Spanish. When I actually do this like for a marathon thing, I'll play in English. And the reason for that is Spanish saves a few seconds due to having less text boxes in some areas at the start, so it's like kind of the thing you want to do for 80%. But for the purpose of reading things, English loses like 5 seconds over the course of all missions. Like, you might as well just play on English to like show off a run, right? When you're doing 80% grinding stuff, you want to be in Spanish. That time save matters a lot more. So you'll see this run right now in Spanish. What we basically just did, we went through the start of OE, we met up with Captain Cuttlefish, and went to talk to his telephone, tell us our objective of getting these 4 different things scattered across the OE Metro. So we hop on the train, and we start taking down stations so you can go collect these 4 things and get out of the Metro system. That's the goal. Or at least for 80%, that's the goal. But like I said, we're going to do 80% first, and then clean up the missions later. Now there are people that just do all missions in a slightly better order. You have to do a little less crossover if you actually do all of the missions and do like a big circle and whatever. But a lot of all missions runners, you're losing like literally seconds to just do an 80% run first, and then you get an 80% attempt in. And that can like be what happened to me here, and you can get a new PB with it, which is generally the justification for it. It's just like, you might as well just do an 80% run since you can. It hardly loses you time. The main goal of an 80% run in all missions is to get something under an hour and 10 minutes. It doesn't actually have to be like that insane. Because, for example, Nabobin, right? Nabobin's one of my good friends and commentated with me on my Splatoon NG Plus run last GDQ. He has a 253 in all missions, right? Third place. And his any percent in that run is a 109.49, which is like a minute 40 slower than my any percent. But Nabobin is so good at OE and all of the missions that he just makes that work fine. So if you really have an any percent under an hour and 10 minutes, you could shoot for world record in this category. Like, it's very realistic. It's just that I kind of got on a bit of a bonkers any percent here. But that was our first mission. You go up to one of those mission gates. It'll give you a weapon or a sub-weapon or something that you can use to complete the stage. You go through the stage. That one just had a bunch of octolings. You throw bombs at their spawn locations. Get to the end data point. Finish the stage. That's the basic gist of it. Then we're going to have more text. Pearl and Marina are in this. They get to our radio frequency on this radio or whatever. I start talking to myself and Captain Cuttlefish, right? And they're going to try and get us out of this metro. So they're trying to figure out what's going on. Like, they're near Octo Valley. Why are you stuck in this metro? Let's try and get you out of here. So now we'll be going into the next station. AO6 is a bit of a cycle station. There's going to be these ink sticks spinning around throughout the stage, and they're on a global cycle. So we're trying to outpace them by doing specific amounts of jumps throughout here. We're also using a blaster. We jumped at the start with the blaster because the blaster has a ton of slowdown when you fire the weapon. So if you use it midair, you don't actually slow down at all. You can do 3 bounces here and barely make it to this end. And that lets you dodge this ink stick and go around it. That's called fast cycle, or 258 cycle, as I kind of tend to call it, because you land at this checkpoint with a 258 on your timer. There are variations of fast cycle that are 256. If you get 254 in your timer, then the ink stick in front of you here is actually in your way again. And 252 is slow cycle. So you can kind of use those little... You can kind of use the checkpoint timers to have an indication of like what cycle you're on, what movements you need to take, kind of deal. And we're getting past the ink sticks here. Bonk? Okay, just fail at execution there. I was wondering why I had 2 seconds of my PB there. That's why I didn't press the B button. Streamer, have you considered pressing the B button? It tends to actually help your gameplay. Anyway, that's that stage. Now we're going into AO7. This is really cool. This is Maverick Station. So we're going to be using the inkjet here. And the inkjet is more like a flight device than anything. Hover us off the ground. But if you're over a void, you're going to be constantly losing height. We're going to be timing out specific jumps. Like, we're going to be jumping from this line on the floor, gaining some height off of here, and then going to this metal bar, getting our height back, and then we can jump across to skip the little part of the stage. Then we can jump here, gain our height back. We can grab this checkpoint, die, and then respawn over here, which skips like a good amount of the stage. The Maverick skips. Technically, the last one is the only one you really need to do. It's just the first one saves a little bit of extra time, and you can use visual cues and whatnot to make it really consistent. So, that stage is kind of a freebie. Once you know where to look and what time to do your jumps. You know what's not a freebie? This next one. So, this next stage is going to be the introduction of 8-Ball. And if you've played Octo expansion casually, you probably have seen all the memes about how 8-Ball is terrible and like test failed as the 8-Ball falls off the map and whatever. And this is probably the only 8-Ball stage in the entire game that's actually garbage. Besides Bingo. We'll get into Bingo later. I lose like 3 minutes of this run on Bingo. But like, that's in the all missions part. But this is like in any percent. There's 2 different 8-Ball stages. One of them is really consistent. It's like a cycle stage that you have a lot of time to make. This stage isn't. So what's going to go on here we're pushing this 8 ball throughout the stage. If it falls off the map, you just die, okay? So don't let the 8 ball fall off the map. Pretty simple. We're pushing it through, trying to dodge all the enemy shots. I kind of make a misplay there. I just get really lucky with it bouncing off that pad there. Don't even question it. I don't know either. That's okay. That shouldn't have worked. What am I doing? That's just bad aim. Anyway, you throw a burst bomb at this section. You see all these little different bounce pads? So all of these bounce pads can randomly keep the 8 ball bouncing from side to side, and you'll have to stop it. This was kind of weird because it went all the way to the end and then bounced straight back and didn't actually start bouncing again. This section here can just feel like complete RNG sometimes. It's not really. There's some manipulations you could do with burst bombs and shots, but an enemy can also just shoot the 8 ball and ruin your day. So that section many times is very much out of your control. And that's why pretty much every top runner just despises it. We all really hate it. Here's our friend, Isopadre. Isopadre kind of gives you like rewards and whatnot for completing lines of OE. We don't care about any of that. He basically just gives us text boxes in the long run. So now we're going to be going into Shrinky Ink. This is a limited ink stage. So we're going to be having the splatter shot here. And a limited amount of ink to actually get through here. There's kind of a cycle that we want to make. You do a few shots to give yourself a path here. 1 on this wall, 2 here, hop up. You can do 3 to cover more distance. Then you get on the sponge, jump. Make sure you have the very top of that inked, because there's like a little seam there. If you don't have the very top of a wall inked, when there's a seam separating 2 different blocks, it won't actually connect it. So you have to be very careful about that. And you can finish the stage like that. If you're a little bit faster, you can ink the little side wall and then jump up across that instead of having to wait for the platform to rise a little more, which is a little bit of a time save. I wasn't fast enough to capitalize on that though. But like, it's whatever. It was still fairly fast. Now this is probably one of the most hated stages for any percent speedrunners. This is Radical Rails. For Radical Rails, we're going to be using a Jet Sculpture, which is just a long-range auto-fire weapon. There's 20 boxes. They're all on these spinners and they're constantly moving, and you need to clear these as fast as you can. So take out the big box, these 3, try to get all 4 of those, which I miss, so I just have to start doing backups. This is disgusting. How do they make this work? You get some shots of the big one because this thing has a ton of different health, and then you're just cleaning up all the boxes that you missed. At times okay. Low 42 IGT is like whatever. You're looking for a 45 IGT there, optimally, but that's good enough. Yeah. And next up, this is... I don't know. I always call stages by their numbers. I don't know the specific name for each one, especially when we're not on English, but this is the brush stage. We'll just call it that, okay? You pick an ink brush because at a slightly faster speed. The Octo brush isn't much slower. Only loses about 1 second overall because it breaks boxes faster. But the ink brush just has such better movement that it doesn't really matter. You spam the trigger here, take out all these boxes. That was just so slow. Now I understand why there's 3 seconds of time save here in these splits. I get it now. Yeah, there's 35 different crates. If you miss any of those on the rail, you are not having a good time. Then you have to take a lot of different flicks to take out this big box, and then that's your stage. That was pretty bad. Now I understand why there's 3 seconds there in my PB. I was confused. It's just like, I thought it was okay. Anyway, this is Girl Power Station. Now, if you've seen casual players talk about Girl Power Station, they call it like the hardest thing in the game. They call it so difficult. Like, how does anyone do the station? This is the easiest stage of the game for speedrunners. You want to know why it's the easiest stage in the game for speedrunners? Because we know where everything spawns. Once you know where everything spawns in Girl Power, this stage is an absolute joke. It's so free. Like, when you don't know when everything spawns, yeah, it's pretty difficult. You'll die here. Stuff will go wrong. But for us speedrunners, this stage is, like, actually pathetic. And the casuals would just never believe you when you say something like that, but, like, it's true. Okay? Like, when I know where all these are gonna spawn, I just take a specific set line as I go throughout this. I pick up armors, because there's 2 armors here. Ultra safe. Then you make this large path, because they're gonna spawn at all these different corners, so I'm just making a path so I can connect between them. And I have this nice path, and they spawn at 45 seconds. So I just get nice and close once that actually happens. Take out the slosher. What am I doing here? That was so bad. I wasn't even close to it. Okay, I'm throwing. Anyway. Take out all these. Then these spawn at 33. You take these out. I've lost both my armors. I actually have to be kind of careful here. That's sad. Then these spawn at 22. You take out these 3. And here is a specimen. Okay, so on the right side, there was one that spawned over there. That's Wall Friend. Wall Friend, or as I like to just call him, the friend, you know? That friend over there sometimes will just stay on that wall and just stare at it. It's just a brush octoling that's like supposed to go and attack the orb, but its AI is just so questionable that it just stares at the orb the whole time. It's so funny. Anyways, now we're going into one of the craziest stages in OE in general, Matchmaster. This stage is bonkers, and I messed this up really bad at my PB. I don't die here, but I'm pretty sure my split time is at 2:28. That's terrible. I was like, that's so bad. My gold here, my actual any percent is at 207. And the hash dice gold is a big 204. So I'm like 20 seconds off of that in this. Because my opener in this Matchmaster is disgusting. You have a set amount of shots that you want to do at like the start, so you break like the right boxes, right? You break the right boxes, and then you do like your right order. First off, complete fail to hit this grappling, right? Absolute fail. I wasn't using the proper visual cue. And then like, what is this? How am I not dead? I don't understand what happened up there. So from this point, I'm just like, what? Well, what happened? I don't know what boxes are broken up there. I start missing all sorts of backups, you know? Like, I have to do this shot over here, but then I have to do 3 individual cleanup shots to fix that, and then I can continue on. It's just like, what is going on in this Matchmaster? It doesn't make sense how I messed this up this bad, but didn't die. Because usually when you mess up a Matchmaster this bad, you will die. Because you're going to break one of these white boxes. The whole point is these orange boxes, you got to break all those. The white boxes, they can take 1 splash hit, but after that, they break, and you die, right? So, the fact that I'm still alive in this Matchmaster just doesn't make sense. Like, this should have killed me so long ago. I don't understand. That's like a terrible, terrible Matchmaster. If I actually do this, I can guarantee you in a marathon setting, I can do that 10 seconds faster. Like, that's like the worst Matchmaster I've continued, but the thing is, like, it's an all missions run, right? You don't care as much about the 80%, so you don't reset that Matchmaster. And then I actually ended up PVing my 80% because my run gets pretty good after this. After this just atrocious Matchmaster. It's so bad. It makes me mad that my Matchmaster was this bad at my PB. But the nice part about this is that this is such free time save in my actual 80% splits to go against. And that I like. I love free time save. Anyways, now that's dealt with, we have the shower. Now Octo Shower gets an upgrade here, but honestly, kind of an easier fight than the original one. This is the easiest boss in OE, I'd say, because He'll get like dashing copters with faster speed, and you have to take it out with inkjet shots. But you can kind of manipulate every phase besides the first one, so he'll end up in like the spaces that you want it to. So this phase is basically, or this fight is basically just scripted. So you take out these first two with shots, and then you kind of have to read this last one, which I do perfectly there. And then from here, the fight's free. Because phase 2 and phase 3, you do like little position minutes at the start. So he'll stay in one spot and won't move and dash away. And if you do those, you're basically just doing a one cycling strat. Which is like... I'll explain it. You like wait slightly there, so he gets out his gun. Tries to take you down. You take out these two. You aim left for the third one. And then the fourth one will drift into the middle. That's the one cycle. And then we're going to rinse and repeat in phase 3. Phase 3 is the exact same as that. Except now they can dash. So they can get out of your way a little bit faster. But if you're good with snapping, if you mess up your manip, you can make it work. He pulls out the Stingray, so I don't even have to like try to correct anything, because he's just going to stay in the same spot. And then we can do our cycle there. And that's the fight. Very simple. I wish all the OE bosses were this easy, because oh my god. Some of them get crazy. I'm pretty sure I like die twice on Samurai in this run or something. And then I almost died on Shower because of an armor break. And then my bamboo time was bad. I think all my boss times were actually just questionable in this run. Besides Shower. This Shower is really good. $22.10 first thing. Oh my god. How is this by any percent PB still, dude? Oh. Questionable. Very questionable. Also, you can ignore the fact that I need to fix my all mission splits. I used to do a different split timing method. So all of my Thang splits are just like a couple seconds off, gold-wise. That's just whatever. That's kind of the consequence of me switching to fade out so I can compare to the Bowman and hash trace easier. That's just what it is. I have to fix it. It's pretty easy now that I've PV'd with fade outs. It just means that my sob is like 8 seconds wrong or something. Not a huge deal though. God, this song goes hard. Anyway. So that's our first thing of 4. Now we're going to be doing a couple more stages on this right side to get our second thing. And then we'll be doing left side. So you can pause there and go back to the train instead of actually walking towards it, which just saves a bunch of time. And we can menu over to JO4. JO4 has got 10 different enemies scattered across. There's a couple of different routes that you can do this. There's the snap route, which saves about half a second, but requires you literally flicking your controller and reacting to where one of the last enemies will go. This is the safe route, where you take out these 2 big enemies first, then you walk back and take out these 8. You can shoot the boxes under the twinicles, because one shot won't take out a twinicle. So they'll fall and die to the void instead. And then you can do damage to these dash bombers before it even spawns, like it's when it's in its blue circle spinning whatever spawning animation. You could throw a shot out, the splash damage will deal enough that you can take it out with a second shot, and then you can deal with both of them before they actually even start dashing because of that, which is a cool little time save. So next up, this is JO5. What is this actually called? Something rails, I don't know. We have dually sculptures here. We're going to be doing dodge roll boost, which is the act of dodge rolling twice on a rail can give you a little bit of a boost forward. Like so. You do this in like a rhythmic motion. And just watching your ink tank the whole time so you're not using too much. Shoot these switches, go past the ink sticks, dodge roll boost everywhere. And what we're going to be doing at this end here is this jump, where essentially I'm going to be jumping from this point at a specific spot and landing onto this top rail, which saves doing that normally, which saves about 10 seconds. The method that I actually did there is something I don't do anymore, where I did it in kid form. I do that in squid now, just because you can snap onto it way easier. Why I used to do this in kid form consistently and actually just missed it from time to time, beyond me, right? I don't know why. I was a little silly, okay? But it's whatever. So now we're going to be grabbing our second thing. This right side, a 25-26. My best ever right side now in an 80% run is a 25-01. So you could probably tell what I think of this right side, okay? It's just questionable. It's questionable at best. It makes me bad. But it's also very easy time save when I compare against this right now. I need to get a 107 soon. Like, I'm so close. I had 3 runs yesterday that were on pace. 1 died in phase 6 escape, 1 died in phase 7 escape, 1 died to OS skip. Like, whatever. Ramblings aside. What? It's 26. Wait, no, that's 26 on my, any percent splits, but it's 27 there? Oh, that's weird. Okay, anyway. So that's right side done for the 80% section of this run. Now we're going to be going into AO4. This is a stage that we do in Baller. We'll be seeing a few of these. The Baller is especially out of the Splat 2. It just rolls around unless you hold down the ZR button. It'll do a big explosion, whatever. So we'll be navigating the Baller throughout this stage. Why did I jump there? You don't have to jump there. That's a time loss. You lost frames, Ginger. Reset your run. Whatever. So we navigating the Baller throughout this. You're trying to get... You can do a little cut there in between those fences. You're trying to not get stuck on any of the ledges, because jumping and getting stuck on ledges as a Baller is really slow because of its climb speed. Like, it's way slower than its actual roll speed. So you're just trying to optimize that way. And then you can just barely dodge that ink stick as it's rolling around, go onto those zip pads, and then finish the stage like that. For a pretty nice time. So there you go. This is BO1. BO1 has a strat here called Fast Cycle. This is the other 8-ball stage I was talking about earlier. Fast Cycle, you're basically trying to make a seesaw cycle at the end of this stage, and do something called seesaw skip as well. But it's not a global cycle at the very end of the stage, and you're just trying to move this 8-ball as fast as you can to make that cycle, essentially. This is a terrible start, because I had to do that extra bounce on the wall, but I make up for it by just cleanly going around this corner. Then putting it into this side. You take this elevator up with the fan, and then throw the 8-ball forward. Be nice and safe going across this section, because it is very easy to get that 8-ball to fall off or bump into something that'll kill it. So usually you would do like this end section on the left. Like, you put the 8-ball over there and hit it with an ink balloon, but what you can do instead is you can wait for the seesaw and manually just shoot it up yourself, then jump. That's called seesaw skip. And I also got here the fastest that you actually can make this cycle work. That's fast cycle, which is a 123 split, which is like ideal. Very ideal. Saves a lot of time. You can do a normal cycle as well, which doesn't really lose that much. It's about like a 130 split in the stage. That's like a nice backup or whatever. If you die in the stage, you can actually make that normal cycle in some scenarios, but it's whatever. Make the cycle that you can. Don't be afraid to take risks. And there we are. This is AO2. It's a Rainmaker stage. We're going to be taking this Rainmaker to an enemy pedestal at the end of the stage. I have a little trouble climbing up there, but it's not like a big deal. Nice frame drop, man. That's because this is the stream VOD and not my local recording. That's why these frame drops are here. But you know what? This all missions PV isn't that great to me, so I don't really care to upload the local recording. That's just what it is. It's like the stream VOD will do for now. We'll get a better PB soon. Surely. Surely we'll get a better PB soon, right guys? But that's our first line cleared. You get like these mem cakes that just show like proof that you cleared lines and whatever. And there are 10 different lines in Octo expansion. The 90% run usually only clears a single line, but all missions, we're gonna get all 10 of those babies. It's gonna be awesome. Next stage, Geo 6, Gnarly Rails. This stage is going to be using more dodge roll boosting and something called a nollie jump. When holding out a sub weapon or shooting and jumping forward, you can actually gain a lot more speed up and forward to make jumps like that onto that box. Now, usually if you just jump towards that box, frames, hello. If you just jump towards that box, you actually would just not get enough speed forward and you'd fall down. But if you do a nollie jump instead, you'll easily be able to clear that box and then just go forward. Whoa, okay. That should have killed me. Wow. But whatever. That's our gnarly rails. Pretty sloppy, but it'll do. Next up, we're going to be using a jet sculpture on this stage to break 20 different boxes on like a specific cycle. There's a bunch of fail balloons around. You pop a fail balloon, you die. Self-explanatory. It looks bad looking at this stage, but trust me, as long as you don't mess up this bomb throw too badly, everything works out okay. The thing about the jet sculpture is if you shoot a fail balloon here, it does not pop it in one shot. You need to shoot two to actually pop one. Which makes this way better. Because if you mess up one of your aim and just accidentally tap one, you just like take a moment, just like, okay, let's fix my aim, and then we'll get the box after. There's a big box hidden there behind where that little one would be. You just have to shoot the ink first. I missed this bomb throw because my angle there was just not ideal. I could just hop off and get that. That almost killed me because I couldn't aim there, but whatever. He broke everything. So it works good enough, I suppose. Next up, we'll be doing something called a furler boost. A furler boost happens when a bomb connects with something called an ink furler. An ink furler, just like, it's one of these things in front of us, where basically you hit this with ink and it'll extend forward and make a path. You can get caught inside of one of these ink furlers and have its push speed be transferred to you, essentially. This furler boost is very difficult because there's only one furler, and it's easy to just get knocked out of it. But you can set it up with a burst bomb here, center, and then you can get pushed forward by this ink furler to save a little bit of time. Only saved like a couple of seconds. Pretty dangerous. And if you fall out, you can lose like way over 10 if you miss it. So it's dangerous. But at this point, I knew my Matchmaster was bad. I wanted to see if I could actually PB with this 90%. So I started going for like some pretty dangerous stuff. And it paid off. I mean, this metro time isn't that great overall, but it works. And then we did another nollie jump halfway through. Back there, I wasn't even explaining it. We did another nollie jump. Just by holding out the sub weapon and then jumping in squid form. To make a jump across to the ink furler. Cool beans. And this will be our third thing. Almost got all four of them. And then look away, avert your eyes. A bit of a fail bumping onto that electric shield. I lost like a second there for that. It's free time save my PvE, man. I don't know what you're talking about. Anyway, so Captain Cuttlefish is putting up a poster for how Agent 3 is supposed to look, and you get to customize Agent 3 by doing that. We just want the default options because, you know, switching between takes quite a bit of time. Next up, we have another box stage. This is kind of an auto-scroller. There's kind of some tough strats you could try and do here, though, with the Jet Squelcher. The Bowman has some cycle stuff here that is just extremely difficult. But there's 30 boxes. If you die anywhere in the stage, you go back to the start. So it's generally better to just play safe, because if you die at the end, you're losing a minute. Like, this stage is absolutely brutal to die on. One of the worst in OE. Deceptively simple, you know? Now, in an 80% run, you go for a dangerous strat, just because if you die, well, you just reset. You do another 80% run. But in all missions, do you really want that 1 second time save? Or do you just want to get to the all missions part? That's the dilemma you need to ask yourself. Because you break all 3 of these boxes. If you timed it just right, this third spinner over here, you're able to just barely clear it. I didn't time it right, so it's just better to jump there and get off the rail, lose a little bit of time. But if you're feeling risky, you can just go right past that if you did the strat correctly. But it's hard to tell if you did the strat correctly with delaying the boxes and how the spinners spawn. So it's like, I don't know. It's a hard strat. Next up, a pretty infamous stage. We just like to call this damageless. Throughout this whole stage, if you take damage at all, if you stay at enemy ink long enough that damage points actually add up onto you, you die. So you can't get hit, you can't stay in enemy ink. Nothing. You quite simply have to take 0 damage. You could graze enemy ink a little bit, as long as you don't stay in it for too long, because damage points don't actually start adding onto you after a little bit. So you can make some questionable things happen. But you really want to avoid that. So we have to dodge a bunch of different shots, go around this guy's shot, which that got very close to me. Don't get hit by this gunner, because it's shooting, you know, it's shooting behind you. Then we'll be going through this damageless. Take out this enemy, because he's quite in their way. Take out this one. Hold this curl for a bit so its fuse is shortened. It takes out these bombers, and then you can go and grab this key. Dodge that. If you actually take out that one trooper there, it'll spawn 3 more. And that's like harder to deal with. So you want to avoid killing that one trooper if possible. I do that one shot to the side. It's going to make sense later. There's going to be a twinnicle that spawns there in the last section. And you want that thing to stay in ink, because a twinnicle fires out a lot of shots, and very easy for that thing to take you out. So I'm going to be playing a bit safer here, taking out all 3 of these enemies. You can actually jump across a little part there and skip killing all 3 of them, technically. Just dangerous is all. Now we'll be getting this launch pad. And we're out of there. Not too bad. That's like actually a really good damageless type. A 218 damageless, especially with those strats, is really surprising. And we'll be going into the last main stage of the 80% Metro section, which is just a cannon auto-scroller. Once you are in this cannon, you have to defend the orb for a full minute. It's as basic as it sounds. You can basically just mess around this whole time. You can like hop out of the cannon, just do jumps around, or you can actually, you know, take out the enemies. It's just not a big deal. I'm just missing shots. You can see how shaky my aim is just after damageless. You're usually a little bit shooken up because that stage, things can go wrong very quickly on that stage. Oh, nice missile. It's not like it matters that much. Obviously, if too many missiles hit the orb, you're gonna die. But like, surely that wouldn't happen, man. Like, come on. There you go. And that's our last stage for Metro. Now we're going to be grabbing Thang 4, and we're going to be going into the escape section. The escape section is composed of 7 different parts, which are basically just get to the end checkpoint, or to the end jump pad, and progress to the next section. It's like stages, but instead of like having a data point at the end to finish the stage, it's just another jump pad to get to the next one, basically. But before we even get into that, we're going to be having 2 minutes of cutscenes, because OE has a lot of cutscenes. Now you may be thinking, oh, a 2-minute cutscene? This is your bathroom break then. No, it's not. There's going to be a 6-minute cutscene later, actually. So, that's the bathroom break. You're going to be mashing through this first little part. And then we'll be talking to the phone, telling us we want to go to the promised land. And then our telephone friend over here is going to put all of the Thangs together, and we get to see the shape of what's going to take us there. It's going to be so cool, right guys? Surely nothing bad would happen. It's just like, why does this look like a blender? Wait a minute. Why is this like a blender? That's kind of weird. Hop in. Hop into the blender. Come on. Of all things, they made us assemble a blender for the first 41 minutes of the speedrun. Just like, are you sure you're okay in there? You're like, it's a blender on the outside. I don't know what to tell you. But everything is going to be okay. It's because Agent 3 to the rescue. Knocking out the telephone. And destroy the blender with a simple punch. Agent 3 inspiring the world as we know it. But Agent 3 then gets knocked out cold, and then this is like a admin security thing that just lets us see a map of like all of the escape that's coming up, which really doesn't have any practical purpose. I haven't explained this whole section because it's just like I'm not paying attention for these 2 minutes. I'm trying to like calm down my nerves, you know, because like there's no text boxes here, there's no mashing. But there you go. We super jump, and we're going to be going to each of these 7 different parts of the escape section. Starting with Phase 1 Stealth. You don't have a weapon here. You don't have a sub-weapon yet. So, in Phase 1, you're just trying to be stealthy around all of these enemies. If they get aggro onto you, sometimes there could be bomber spawners, and that could just ruin your day. Well, sometimes it makes sense to get caught, sometimes it doesn't. So we just take a path that makes sense with what is going to spawn around us, essentially. Like right here, you're supposed to go slower. There's just twinkles here and nothing else. And they're not very accurate, so you can just keep going full speed. Same here. Now this part, there's actually bomber spawners on these little pads right here. These spawn bombers if something sees you. And those bombers, if they hit you once directly, your armor gets broken. If they hit you twice indirectly, your armor gets broken. There was 4 spawners there. So you really do not want to aggro something. Same here with the sniper. Bomber spawners all around us. Make sure the sniper is getting blocked by the wall before actually jumping and progressing. And now we just wait for a visual cue. Once the ink goes past a certain point on like this part right here, you can jump and time it perfectly. It's just convenient. Go past this twinticle. And then we wait for the twinticle right here, just to go around. Then we can squid on squid and tactically aggro, because that makes this platform turn a little earlier. With basically 0 danger of doing it, which is nice. So now in phase 2, we're going to be a little less stealthy. We're going to be getting our weapons. Now there's a trick here you may have seen before called Octo shot skip. Octo shot skip uses the sub weapon that we get first, the splat bomb, to hit this end switch that's just over here, up this wall. There's an end switch that would take you to the ending area that you would use bomb explosion particles to actually activate doing the skip. That's super RNG dependent and can like lose you minutes. So for any marathon speedrun, I would hope that you don't do Octo shot skip. I really hope Toads didn't do it in his SGDQ run. That just wouldn't make sense. Because it takes a lot of time to just get over there and do the setup anyway. So this run of mine does not do Octo shot skip, and you would definitely not see it at a marathon run. It's just never worth it. For world record contention, it could save up to 35 seconds. You will need it. But you don't need to do it for a normal run, essentially. That's what I'm trying to say. So instead of doing Octo shot skip, we'll be going over to this side and actually going to grab the Octo shot. Because we have our splat bomb now. Splat bomb could take out different boxes, ink switches, whatever. We can use the bomb to hit all of these fans and get to that Octo shot. And now that we have that, we are equipped for the rest of Escape. So yeah, as I was explaining, once we get past like this wall, you can see the little switch that's up there. You'd have to use bomb particles going up on one of the top ledges to actually do Octo shot skip with that. So instead, it just makes way more sense to just go and grab the Octo shot. Loses 35 seconds to optimal, but on average, you're saving like minutes. But now we're going into phase 3. This is a very notorious phase, because if you die basically anywhere in phase 3, you're on track to lose about 40 seconds. There's a couple of different ways you can go about the starting blocks. Everything's on a global cycle here. So I have something called a speed and a jump variant with these starting blocks. There's going to be a block that like dips into water. Water kills you. Don't go into water. This starting block right here, if you're fast enough, you could hop on top of it before it goes into the water and go up there. I call that the speed variant. if that block is already submerged in water, you have to do like a jump across from where you were standing before. I call that jump variant. I personally like the speed variant way more myself, but I know a lot of people just use the jump instead. I find the jump kind of inconsistent though, compared to just going faster at your start. That's why you'll see me go for that speed variant like 90% of the time, unless something really bad happened with shot RNG. But anyway, we're going to be picking up this burst bomb rush here as a special. Just lets you throw a bunch of burst bombs that'll be useful for inking a couple walls. We get this key for the end that we need here. We'll go up this part, and then we can activate our burst bomb rush to ink these 2 walls way faster. And then we can go to this end section. And now, there's a missile copter over there. We essentially just need to keep moving throughout this section. It's got like a bunch of moving blocks, but as long as you keep moving, you'll be fine. And then what I can do here, I can use a bomb throw to scare him into this one spot so he doesn't dash away from me. And then take him out with my shot. And that was a nice 159 phase though. That was nice. And now we have phase 4. Phase 4 is a bunch of lasers. You could do technically something at the end of this called laser skip, where you move very slowly through a wall of lasers, so the game doesn't register as you actually going through them and moving fast enough for it to kill you. Screw laser skip. I hate that skip. It's not really ever going to be fully consistent based on the nature of it, so I'll just be going around in this run. Go up this wall, dodge this wall of lasers, and then this ending section is where you would do laser skip. I throw a bomb here to just give myself a nice ink puddle, and I can hop between those 2 lasers. Jump through here, go up. Laser skip would essentially go and hit that switch that opens at the ending, and then swim through the wall of lasers to just go to that end section instead of doing the jumps around. It only saves like 3 seconds at best. So not worth it if you ask me. Now, we're going to be going into Escape 5. Our weapons are actually going to get replaced with the inkjet. And we're going to be using the inkjet to grab these 8 data points so we can unlock the power orb to power the elevator for the next phase. So essentially, the inkjet is a fairly slow weapon. We're going to be trying to overlap shots. So whenever we need to go up a wall, we will have the ink to do it. And we're going to be grabbing this 3rd data point. Now, instead of going down to the side platform, you can mash B and get back onto this rail. You could also, if you have a ton of height there, you can actually get up to that top part and save a couple more seconds. But I don't really have a consistent way to do that yet. Now, if I could do that consistently, then I'd probably be able to keep up with Hashed a little better. So, that's the goal at some point. Also, I got my armor broken there. That's scary. I got hit once by those twinicles there, but you actually can get hit twice before you die with an armor break from twinicle shots. So, I was 1 hit away from death there. Don't question it. It happens. That's just okay. Nice movement, dude. But then, I've kind of been on a global cycle this whole time because this 7 data point is spinning around. You can get to it a little bit earlier with some faster strats, mainly on the 3rd data point throughout there, but we got there on the fast cycle, so this is like a 222 split or something. That's pretty good. And this sends our orb, our power orb, straight up into where phase 6 will be. And it'll power our elevator that we have to take to the end to dodge a bunch of stuff. So now in phase 6, we essentially have this platform that is powered by the orb. If you shoot this orb, it'll keep it moving forward. But if the enemy shoot it too much, it'll take too much damage and it'll explode and you'll go back to the last checkpoint and you'll die. So the goal here is to have a consistent enough route that will dodge as many things as possible, like reliably dodge stuff. So basically, I count out my shots here. I do 8 shots after throwing the bomb. And then we can go here. This is another ink tank. I'm going to be throwing a bomb later at the orb and then taking out enemies. And I need the ink back because I'm going to need to throw a second bomb pretty quickly. So I need that ink tank. So I pick it up earlier and essentially I'm just saving it for later. That's terrible. So I missed 2 shots there. So now, you see this little spinner right here? He's gonna get a little whiff. He's gonna get a little whiff of it. Get a small amount of damage in. Now I'm like, dude, this is bad. This is really bad. So I throw a bomb here. I take out this bomber. 2, 3, 4, 5. Throw the bomb. You gotta just... I missed the missile. Make sure that guy doesn't throw out another bomb. Like, this is like a really bad phase 6 at this point. So many things have gone wrong. Like, we are very off the normal script. You gotta hit these switches with the lasers. I am trying to basically outpace that ball right there. Hit that switch. Sometimes the switches can be very annoying. I actually lost a run yesterday. That was 107 pace to that last switch right there. I fired 12 shots onto that target. All of them drifted to the side. Not a single one hit the switch. And the ball behind me, because there's a ball right behind you there, by the way. And the ball behind me caught up to me, hit me, killed me. And I lost my run because of that. And I still got a 108.09, okay? Like, the run was still okay after that 20-second death. But, like, the game trolled me with shot RNG. And it can just happen. Which is unfortunate. That's reality, but that's Splatoon speedrunning for you. Sometimes shot RNG is just terrible. And now we're going to be going into phase 7. We're going to be doing something called elevator skip. Where essentially we're going to be lining up with a visual cue on the side of the elevator and jumping off of it. And it lets us die and start a cutscene a little bit earlier. Saves about 10 seconds of our not doing elevator skip. So essentially, I'm going to be going up on top of this block and lining up fairly well. And I'm looking for when this point right here crosses with the side of the elevator, then I jump off of the elevator, I die, and it now thinks I'm at the top of the elevator cycle, so it'll start this Agent 3 cutscene. Which is way faster than just waiting for it. So now we're going to be fighting Agent 3. It's been possessed. What even is this guy's name again? The villain of OE? I honestly couldn't tell you, because I don't pay attention in these last cutscenes. I'm usually gone for the last 6 minutes. But this is Agent 3. Agent 3 is fighting us now. A precursor of things to come, I suppose. There's 4 different phases. The first one, you just throw a bomb as to where it splashdowns. After the splashdown goes down, you throw the bomb, do out shots, and then try to do a 1 cycle. Phase 2 was in the baller, put it in a corner, destroy it. Phase 3 tries to pull out a stingray. Throw a bomb once its iframes are gone, take it out. Phase 4, same as Phase 1. Throw the bomb, tries to dash around, do more splashdowns. You can just take the last one, and then take out Agent 3. And that is our any percent run. Now, because this is a 6-minute cutscene, I am probably actually going to go get some more water and go to the washroom, and then we'll continue commentating. Might just skip over this, honestly. You know how it is. This is like very realistic for me because I'm not like the greatest at long runs. I usually do take a bathroom break an hour in. So yeah, I'll be back in a moment, okay? Hi. Have you been enjoying the cutscene? Let's skip this, because like this is 4 minutes where you can just basically read off a ton of donations. But essentially, big statue has risen from the water, right? Marina is going to fire a bunch of hyper bombs onto the statue. And you explode these hyper bombs to cover the statue. We have 3 minutes to cover this whole statue before it fires a big old laser to take out Angopolis, right? If you fail to cover this whole statue and limit its power in these 3 minutes, it's gonna destroy Angopolis. So we need to blow up all the hyper bombs to stop that from happening. And then Pearl is gonna break out big old killer whale, destroy her voice, and stop the laser. That's the plan. In classic Splatoon fashion. But essentially, what this means for speedrunners is that these last 3 minutes are basically an auto-scroller. You know? Because, oh, he didn't have enough auto-scrollers. Smilers. Because these bombs only spawn in 30-second intervals. So every 30 seconds, you get a new 5 bombs, and for the last minute, you'll have 10 bombs to hit. And all the bombs for each section only take like 15 seconds at most to take out. So you have lots of extra time to just mess around, really. So basically, now minute 30, another 30 passed. We could just blow up that bomb by throwing our splat bomb onto it and then just going onto the rail. Oh wow, we optimized the movement in Turf War. Completely unnecessary. You can just wait and mess around if you want. You only really need about 90 seconds, I think, to actually like clear everything. And then, now that we're in the last minute, we have 10 different bombs to take out. You're really flexible on what route you want to take to the top. Everyone kind of does their own thing. Let me take this last bomb down. And that is the entire statue. I have fallen. And then you get to look at the pretty sunset. So the thing about the last cutscene, we're going to be doing all the missions after this, right? But for the actual game to save our progress, it takes a couple of minutes for us to have the game actually save our progress, have us reset, and skip the credits. So we're going to be watching a bit of the ending. Not that much, though. Commander Tartar. I forgot this guy's name until now. Now it came to me. It's Tartar. He wants to destroy the world. Evil. Then he fires his big old laser and whatever, and Pearl's just like, okay, I got this. I got this. Come on, let's go. Break out the killer whale. Vocal cords ready. Ayo, statue. The princess whale. And then just absolutely deck this laser. Booyah. It'll be fine. Surely. Bang. then Tartar is defeated. Well, we still have to watch this animation, because the game has not saved our progress yet. We're getting there, though. We're almost there. So we did it. We saved the world. No way. What's up, Agent 3? We'll be fighting you pretty soon. Give it a couple hours. And there you go. Finally, bottom left quarter. Game has been saved. Reset. And then we go back into the same file. And now we can go back into Octo expansion right away. Excuse me. We can go back into Octo expansion and start doing the rest of our missions, because there are a lot of missions we gotta do. They're all very unique missions that you just would not see ever in an 80% run. Some of them are better than others, as you could probably guess. But it's a blast. The thing about all missions, if you ask me, is you gotta be able to just roll the punches. Because a lot of bad things is going to happen, you know? A lot of things are going to go off script. You're gonna have times where you go off cycle, and you don't really know how to back things up. You gotta be able to just make backups and adjustments on the fly. That's how this works. Now to start actual all missions, we have an auto-scroller. Because why would there not be an auto-scroller to start this? Like, come on, man. Give me something interesting. There's 30 different balloons. And we're just doing this with the charger because it has more range. Pretty similar to IO5 in the 80% run. So now we're just going to be taking out balloons, hopping over these spinners. You just want to be fairly safe with this, because similar to IO5, if you die anywhere in this stage, you go back to the start. So you can lose a minute to a death. So you want to be like fairly careful with how these balloons work. Make sure you're recovering ink frequently, so you're not actually low. Because you're not recovering ink when you're holding a charge. So you want to make sure that you're actually getting your ink tank back. Only charging when you actually, you know, have a balloon fairly close to you. And obviously, don't be standing when you're going through those grades. It'll just push you off. You would never want to do that. Also, would just like to point out how you're a minute and a half ahead of my all missions PB, and my all missions ends up being 11 minutes slower than a moment. I will work on this category more once I feel like I'm satisfied with 80%, which might be a bit. But you know, GDQ actually happens in like June, so I'll be able to get there for sure. I feel like if this actually were to get in, I would have a significantly better PB before it actually happened, but the estimate would still be like 320 or something, because some of the missions are just not consistent in OE. Let's just be honest, okay? So this stage, we got a jet sculpture, and we got a bunch of different switches, and we're just trying to get to this ending point. We're gonna do something called a platform momentum boost. What we'll do, we're gonna ink this little end platform, use this, and as the platforms are extending, it'll give us a bunch of extra momentum. You'll see platform momentum boosts in a lot of different spots, or PMB, as it's often called. The most infamous one is the level 6 PMB in hero mode. That trick is absolutely disgustingly brutal. Like, I tried to show it off at a GDQ hotfix. I couldn't get it. I've only hit it like a few times ever. Like, it's so hard. It's like nearly frame perfect. It's just what it is, man. Let me get to this data point. There you go. Stage done. Next up, BO4. This is another 8-ball stage, I believe. Or is this tower? No, this is tower. 8 balls soon. So on this stage, notice how you never saw one of these when we were doing the any percent run. That's because each one of these stages takes like at minimum a couple minutes. You want to dodge these at all costs. It's really nice that on the optimal line, no tower control stage actually shows up. So Octolings will be spawning to try and stop us from progressing this tower. The tower will stop at certain points, like different checkpoints, before actually moving again. You have to stay on it for that entire checkpoint. Essentially, we picked the arrow spray because it has splat bombs. These splat bombs will let us easily take out, or normally easily take out these Octolings. You don't really need the weapon itself. It's just the fact that it has splat bombs just makes this way easier. You lob one over there as it spawns, take that one out. And then we're going to be riding the tower for the next bit. There we go. Another checkpoint. We just took out all that Octoling on the side in advance. So we don't gotta deal with it. Add up to like almost PB'd in hero mode at any percent. And lost their big old split file that had 1,600 attempts in the process. Which is sad because their computer got like bricked or whatever. Truly tragic. Anyway, that's BO4. Nothing too scary there. That's like one of the more tame tower control stages, if you ask me. Next up is 8-ball. This is a more complex 8-ball stage, where the end point of this 8-ball is at the start. So we need to get the 8-ball to that point at the start here. And we're essentially just going to be going to the end, grabbing the 8-ball, coming back here. And well, what we're going to do... This stage is on a global cycle, and to get a better global cycle, we'll be doing a death abuse here. You grab the checkpoint and die, and it puts this platform cycle in front of you on a way better point. It saves quite a bit of time. And then grab this burst bomb rush to take out all of these enemies on the wall. And hit the switch. And then we're just inking the switch as we go across. And then we're going to need the key over here. You don't really got to worry about any of the enemies. You need the key over here so we can actually get the 8-ball itself. And then we're going to ink this switch. And that'll let us get to the 8-ball now. And then we're going to rotate this one more time. And then essentially you just got to line this 8-ball up to get into this gap in time. And then over this platform to make the cycle. And then we can just nudge it over here. Make sure that doesn't fall off. Ooh, kind of close. It bounced off the fence there and basically lined it up perfectly. That was so beautiful. Saving time. I need my all missions time save, man. Because bad things are going to happen in this run. I'm going to tell you that in advance. Very bad things are going to happen in this run. But that's the reality of all missions, okay? Anyway, remember that platform momentum boost I was talking about earlier? This is a more big application of it. We're going to pick the bamboozler here, and we're going to use a platform momentum boost to basically skip this entire stage. It works like so. So there's a switch up here, and this makes the platform rise. Okay, man. Yep. You can do a pause glitch to ink the rest of the switch for you. I can explain that more later when we see it more. And then we can do a jump there when the platform stops to get up to this data point and finish the stage way faster than going around the whole thing. I'll explain pause glitches more in Cubular Station, because they're going to be like everywhere there. But that's like a very big time save by using that trick. Because that stage would probably be almost a minute slower if we didn't know how to do that. Just convenient that we have the range now, is it? Now this stage is kind of an auto-scroller. You have to do some platforming here. Getting over to this part, and then raising up this ink wall, and swimming right below before it goes down. And then we'll have to do some jumps in between where these cars are. Because they're kind of just all on a cycle. You hop on it, and now we're going to start moving, open up this door, whatever. And we're basically going to try to go from car to car to get to where that jump pad is over there. And there you go. And now this part is basically an auto-scroller, so we're going to be... This car's got a fan, you just shoot the fan to raise it, and we're going to be trying to dodge all these ink sticks to get to that data point at the end. Which is basically a minute of auto-scrolling. So we're going to be shooting these ink switches to open up a hole for us to go through with the car. You just have to dodge the ink sticks. Then we're going to raise the car up. Make sure you don't go down into those ink sticks. Try to just like save a bunch of ink. Because if you could throw a bob here to end the stage, that's obviously faster. Sometimes you don't have enough, but you make it work with what you got. And now we're going to be doing IO8. What stage is this? Oh, it's this one. It's this one. Okay. This stage is a little silly, I cannot lie, because we're going to be using a sloshing machine here. This sloshing machine isn't that great for taking out enemies, and the whole point of this stage is for taking out a bunch of enemies. It's kind of a slow weapon. Firing out, it's like a bucket, but it fires out big projectiles at the end that do a lot of damage. The only problem with those big projectiles that do a lot of damage is that they're just slow to fire. See, overall, your damage output really ain't that great with this thing. You can hide behind that box and take out that one shielded enemy like that. We're going to pick up the splashdown. I'm going to take out this one shielded, and then take out both of these twinicles with the splashdown by just going down like that. I'm going to use my autobomb sub to take out that gunner over there without actually going to that section. It'll blow up, take it out, and then I can move on. And now, both sides here have a bunch of enemies in a field. So many enemies. So essentially, we're going to be trying and cleaning up a lot of these enemies and using specials to take out all the other ones that we can't get. So we're taking out a bunch of these bombers. Then we have this dash bomber. That's far more annoying. We can use these Tenta missiles to take out the last few on the side that we just didn't want to go and interact with. We'll use the Stingray special right here. That'll let us take out a bunch of the enemies that are like further away. I missed that one, unfortunately, but it's not like a huge time loss to have to go over and take them out. That wasn't too bad. That stage can go very wrong very quickly, so getting out of there, a 2-2x will do. And next up is IO6. Now you may be wondering, Lantro, why do you have 1 minute and 20 seconds on this split? Well, some bad things happened here on my old all missions PB. And I think some bad things happen here on this run too. This stage is weird. We're gonna pick in the Jet Sculpture. There's 21 enemies throughout this stage that we need to take out. You have all these grapplings that'll just take you to further sections. Dodge the snipers. There are a lot of enemies here. The Jet Sculpture is only so efficient. It's a lot better than using a charger here. But there's only so much a Jet Sculpture can do for you. So, figure it out, basically. Now, I'm trying to figure out where these small copters are. And I accidentally hit this grappling. I'm not supposed to hit this yet. So now, at this point, I don't know where to go. I've never actually had to back this up before. So essentially, like, I need to get to this middle section, right? So I can clear up the rest. I was supposed to be in that middle section, then drop down and take out those 2 snipers last. So I'm just confused now. Trying to do jump shots and just take that guy out. So I'm like, okay, well, where's this last one? I don't actually know where this last guy is. It's that copter over there. I can't really get him from this range. Oh, he came closer. Okay, that works. That's not supposed to happen there. But you know, this is an all missions run. Things happen. Roll with the punches. There's going to be a lot of rolling with the punches soon because the incident is about to happen, okay? Probably the biggest incident in this run. And it was pretty much out of my control, but that's just what it is. So at this stage, this is an 8-ball stage where there's 40 of these targets lined up in 2 different lines. And you need to get the 8-ball to take out all of them. It just takes them out by contacting them. So, trying to get good bounces so this 8-ball can just chain hits together. Oh, that was so bad. It's fairly hard to control this sometimes. That's the thing. Want to move it like a little bit forward and use the left again. Please just take that out. Oh my god. Oh my god, oh my god! This one in the corner, being a bit of a nuisance. There it is. And now I just need to take out this little one, which is just not cooperating right now. Please just hit it. Oh my god, please. How hard is it? Just take out the small one! Oh my god. Oh my god. There you go. It happens. So this is a stage where you only use a curling bomb to get to the end. There's actually a cycle thing here where you use like an audio cue to try and make a jump. I missed it and die here because I failed it. It happens, you know? But like, what are you gonna do? You keep moving on, keep pushing forward. Actually, I think like I have a really bad time in this stage. I try to like jump to an audio cue here to make this. If you make that, you can hop over to the other platform and finish the stage like 20 seconds faster. Miss it, whatever. You fail it the first time, we're just going around normally the second time. I'm not like throwing away my run on this stage. We got so much of this run left to do. We got so much of this run left to do that we can just wait. Make it work, man. Make it work. Use the long paths of curls to get through all these sections. Now, I'm pretty sure I have an incident happen in this run, if I'm not mistaken. I'm pretty sure what's gonna happen, I'm gonna go to this rail here, and go up, and bounce up. And I think I fall down at the end of this rail and have to go around again, which is like one of the silliest mistakes known to mankind. Yup! Oh, that's painful. Because now, since I fell down there, I need to go all the way around this whole stage again. And bounce up. And then I die. To make it worse. And then I miss... No, wait, I get there. Okay. That's painful. Truly painful. And then I got my armor broken. It's just like, I am not letting this happen again. Okay. We're out of the stage. It's done. Okay. Bad things happened. And like, I think this 10 level section from like IO8 to like kind of the end of the E line is the worst part of my run. I think I lose about 5 minutes to my sob total. I wish that was a joke, but this is all missions. It happens, not too proud of it, but this is why I would really like to improve my PB though. I feel like a sub 3 at my skill level is very doable. It's just I need to get the right run. And I haven't really gotten the right run yet. Because I've been focusing more on any percent is the thing. So my goal, like if this got into GDQ, I would want to have a sub 3 before I did my GDQ run. That'd be my goal. Because OE has been, like, historically my weakest point in Splatoon speedrunning. Back in, like, 2021, I had a 121 OE any percent, and that was, like, 40th or something. Now I have a low 108, and I'm 3rd, because I've put a ton of time and really tried to work at it. And work at my biggest weakness. But because I haven't put a whole lot of time into it, I'm not really great with all missions. Just yet. It'll take some more time for me to actually get out of the 7th in all missions and get my sub 3. Anyway, this is the worst stage in the game. You want to know why this is the worst stage in the game? Tic-tac-toe 8-ball cannon edition. You have 4 8-balls here. The goal is to get these 8 balls into these holes. And I just completely missed the first one, you know? Like, we're having an absolute blast here. And we're dismissing it more. Because, like, these cannons are just not consistent, okay? That's just what it is. So, essentially, you have 4 8-balls. If all 4 8-balls go into a hole, and you do not have a line, you die. Okay? So you might be thinking like, okay, well, we got these 2 in a line here to start. That's great. We just got to get in that end hole, right? Just get it into that end hole. So simple. I try to fix this now because I'm thinking like that end hole is kind of hard to get into. I'm gonna go for the left bottom instead and try to make a line with that. That's the goal now. Of course, I get into there. I don't really want to be in that one, and then we get into there. Also, don't really want to be into that one, and then we go in there again because you know. Cannon's cooperating right now. It's cooperating, all right. Please just go into that hole. Please. Please. If it bounced off on the other side, we wouldn't have the problem here, okay? I see that, and I'm just like, screw it. There's a fairly good chance it'll go into a hole I want, and then the incident happens, and guess what? I died. Okay, I died. It's not a pretty death. It's not the death that we needed. And I'm losing a lot of time here, okay? Cannon 8-ball is very much out of your control sometimes. Sometimes, even the best runners, like the Bobin, for example, has had a 7-minute split here before, if I'm remembering correctly. So, like, this is fairly normal. Fairly normal tic-tac-toe moment, you know? Like, this is just what happens, unfortunately. And as much as, yes, this is looking like a casual playthrough right now, there's not really a whole lot I can do about it. Get in the hole! Bro, how hard is it? I'm in, like, pain and agony watching this back, you know? Like, this is just, it hurts. Like, just get in there. Like, you just gotta get into this front hole. Oh. No. Bro, it would've worked! It would've worked! I didn't want to have that as a line. Oh my god. Please just get into one of these holes. There you go. We're done. Get me out of this stage. Just lost 2.5 minutes here. So that is the biggest time loss in this run. And as you can see, very hard to control, very hard to manipulate, and actually be consistent with. Your run can just go from 2 minutes ahead to, oh, you're plus 30 now. What are you gonna do about it, you know? What are you gonna do about it? Go and cry in the corner. Anyway. Now that we're out of that monster of a stage, things are going to start getting a bit more consistent. Of course, I fall down here, and it's just like, I'm not in a very happy mood in this run, okay? Like, after all the incidents that just happened in the B line and the E line, like, I am not feeling this run at all. Like, this is me being mad while playing the game, essentially. So now we're going to ink these switches. Once these switches are inked, we'll be able to get onto this inkable platform. Oh my god, what is this? I tried to get up there, and then the switch would cover it, and then I'd be able to rise up to where I'd be able to go. But, like, I'm not having a blast on this stage right now. I'm going to probably be, like, well over a minute behind. I think. Like, this is really bad. You can actually just jump up here. Of course, I missed that, like, because I'm having a great time right now. You can just jump up this, like that. Kind of precise. Sometimes it just fails. Hit the switch up there, take out all these small ones, and then this Octo Stamp DX is going to be following you. You can actually get all of these switches in one stamp cycle if you do it well. I failed, so I have to wait for him to move because he takes forever to get back up, and then there we go. Out of the stage. So yes, I just went from -2 minutes to +1 minute. Welcome to Octo expansion. How may I help you? So yeah, I just lost 6 minutes to my summer best. I know. But like, we have, like, what? An hour and a half left in this run? We have so much time to fix it. We have so much time to actually save this run and get it back in the green. And that was kind of the theme of this run. The struggle to get it back green. I am the first person to tell you this all missions run had some problems, but in the end we overcame and managed to get a new PB, and that's what matters in the end. So in this stage, it's another 8-ball. We got the bamboozler. We're using the bamboozler's fast charge shots to get through this way quicker. You can just tap this further, and then it'll bop the ball over here instead of doing a full charge and waiting for it. Little time saver. And then we can go throughout this further section. Make ourselves a path over here. The 8-ball will come up, and then we can just shoot it across. Whoops. Hit the 8-ball challenge. Difficulty? Impossible. But it looks like my gold here was problematic, so there you go. We're gonna get that time back. And we need that time back, okay? We really do need this time back. This one's a cool one. This is EO3. EO3, we use a nozzle nose. There's going to be a bunch of rotating platforms, and we're going to be trying to make, like, cycles while waiting on some of the rotating platforms and skipping, like, parts of the stage. Like, this one's actually cool. I'm not a huge fan of the nozzle nose as a weapon, but I'm timing out the amount of shots onto these switches to rotate the platforms correctly. It's like you want to time out the shots and do the correct amount, basically. There, that just shouldn't have worked. We can all agree that I should have just fallen there, but like, I'm alive. Everything's fine. So we go over here and we throw a bomb onto this corner. That pushes this platform forward, and then I can go rotate the platform that I was standing on and be able to jump over to there without having to make the missile go to the end, like you would have to do intended-wise. So all 3 of those enemies, we pushed them off with this big block, and then we can hop over to here, and then we can just barely make this jump with a substrafe, and get over to that part, and skip having to ride over that platform. Then we can shoot this switch, hit the balloon, and then we can go to the end of the stage here. Which is just a really cool way of doing that. I really like that stage. This is IO2. This is another really cool one. Now that we got out of the absolute agony that is the E and the B lines, we're actually getting the cool stages now. IO2, we're gonna do strafe jumps. Strafe jumps means that instead of breaking these boxes normally, we're gonna jump around it by timing it just right. We go over this fan, do another strafe jump on top of that box. We've just skipped like a minute of the stage, okay? Because we're on limited ink, you'd usually have to get like bigger ink tanks to take out all of those boxes and whatnot. You can hit this balloon and finish the stage. That stage usually takes 2 minutes. You have like these side sections, you get like more ink tanks, so you can do more damage to the boxes and finish it. We don't do that. We jump around. Think smarter, not harder. Bro, this mix is going insane, oh my god. Anyway, this is our second boss of the main 4. This is Octo Oven. Now upgraded with sprinklers, splash walls, enemies on top, and some special cans to actually help you out too. But this fight's overall much harder. You need to be putting on pretty constant fire while dodging Octo Oven's attacks. We're going to be doing a damage boost off of one of the splash walls as well to skip a spinning cycle. But we're going to be using an ink armor strat to actually make it safer because there are sprinklers everywhere and they are trying to destroy you. So you have like these normal enemies shooting you from up here. Not a huge deal. Could skip all that. Now note here that that enemy over there spawned an ink armor. We're going to need it for phase 3. So we're going to pick it up when we're up there in phase 2, and then we'll be able to use it in phase 3. We'll be able to take out the sprinkler. Now there's a bomber up there. take him out. You don't actually have to take him out. It's just convenient to do so, because then he's not really trolling you. So what we'll do here, we'll take out this tentacle, but also pick up the ink armor in the process. And we're going to pop this at the start of phase 3. Ink armor makes you invincible to one hit. And since it makes you invincible to one hit, a hit that would usually break your armor, you could just use the ink armor for. So I'm going to pop it, and then I'm going to damage boost off of this wall, and that's going to skip that spinning cycle that it would usually do. And now I still have my armor as these sprinklers and snipers are firing at me. So now the goal is to just take out these snipers and make myself a path. One small issue. I get lasered by a sprinkler. Now I'm like almost dead. And I need to just be very, very careful as there are things around me. Now imagine for a second, that sprinkler lasered me while my armor was still broken off of that damage boost. I would have died. I would have had to redo phase 3. This is why you pick up the ink armor. This is why you use it. So that's our boss fight. Very cool. Alright, now we'll be going into GO2. This one's got a bunch of enemies, just a big wave of enemies. We'll be picking up the Stingray over here and using it to take out a ton of these copters. Usually you'll miss some. Not like a big deal. You can just get a quick charge with your Splatling and take them all out. Then we'll get 3 bombers, which you can take out. Not too bad. We're gonna hop onto this one UFO and take out both the snipers using it. Pretty simple stage. And now, this stage, we get an E-leader, and there's going to be 10 different snipers that spawn around the area at different times. And we just got to know where all of these snipers are going to spawn, in what order we want to take them out in. E-leader charges very slowly compared to other snipers, but it has a ton of range. Now, if we had something like a splat charger here, this would be a lot faster, because we don't really need the range here. It's just kind of there. But the only 2 options for this stage are E-leaders, so you gotta use it. We go into this corner, the 10th one spawns over there, and we're just kind of in our scope, take it out. Not too bad. Moving on to the next stage. So that's 40 of the 80 missions down, which is pretty nice. Maybe thinking like, oh, you're gonna get the last 40 missions in the last hour 10? How does that work? We already did Escape. Escape takes a ton of time and doesn't count to those missions, so that's the reason why it seems like there's more in the back half. Okay, so you just want to get this 8-ball onto this path over here, and it'll do its thing, bounce off that wall, and then it will boop that twinticle over there, and it'll just give you a pad. Whoa! This is all like a bit sticky platforming, so the 8-ball is more stuck to it, less, it's got a bunch of friction, I guess. More traction, something like that, I don't know. You send it down here, and it's gonna activate this ink rail for us to go down. You can jump a little earlier, and just kind of catch it as it's spawning. We can launch the 8-ball over there using the ink balloon, and then go to the end. And there you go. Another stage down. Alright. Next up, this one's very fast. So there's going to be 11 enemies. We're going to use the carbon roller. We're going to be hitting back these bundles of relonium towards the enemies and taking them all out. Try to take out like these bigger enemies with the snipers because they're going to be far more annoying. Missing some of the smaller enemies. Now what you also can do, you can also just do like normal flicks to take out that, so I don't have to like waste a relonium cycle for it, but what happens, you know? Get my armor broken, that's so bad. Now, okay, listen, we need to talk about this trick shot, okay? So this hits the guy, they've been rotating around, this guy gets sniped while he's down like that. Mega mind moment, you know? Like, completely unintentional, but it looks so cool. All missions made, man. Only in all missions do you get cool stuff like that. Like, come on. Come on, you gotta give me that one to me. That one was cool, okay? We can all agree on that. It doesn't matter that I lost 10 seconds on that stage, because it was cool. Oh, this stage is cool. Alright, so all of our weapon choices here, kinda bad. Alright, so I gotta pick the best one for what we're dealing with, and that's gonna end up being the L3 Nozzle Nose. This thing is a 3-burst weapon. It's kind of mediocre for taking out enemies, but it also has the Splat Bomb, and that's gonna be more useful than the actual weapon itself. It's a little awkward for inking up walls, but we can use the bomb to take out that sniper over there, to clear these 2 enemies, and now we have this big field of enemies and snipers, gunners, and whatever. So, bomb throw to take out this gunner. Then we take out the sniper. This bomber, or this dash bomber, comes down. We use a bomb to take out this guy. We take out these 2 with our shots. Pick up the stingray for later. Then we're going to clean up these 4 twinkles. And then before we go up, we throw a bomb at these 2. Those are the last 2 enemies for the section. And that'll spawn the launch pad. Then we use the stingray we picked up to clear up a bunch of these different enemies that are down here in this section. Now, we don't quite get everything. I missed that one twinkle there. That's okay. Doesn't take that long to clean it, actually, yeah. To actually clean it up. So, take out this first enemy. Deal with this one. Small guy. And then we're going to try to get this one from over here with fall-off shots. There we go, we got it. And another small one. Gunner. And then we're going to fall down, because we still have that one twinkle, right? So we need to take out this guy from the bottom. It'll spawn a launch pad for us to get back up there. And then we could use the splash down we picked up earlier and combine it with our super jump to just get through that section. Stylish, you know? It just looks cool. It looks cool and it feels satisfying. And then we're going to be going into B14. We're going to be using the Flingza roller here. The vertical flick of the Flingza roller is very slow, and the horizontal is much faster. So we'll just be using horizontal ones. These boxes, you just try to take out these enemies without the boxes below your feet breaking. It's not really that concerning. There's some reinforced ones in the center that you can just stick to if you need to. I'm just losing time on an easy split. That's kind of sad. Take out the bomber. There you go. Quick stage. Get me out of there. Oh, which one is this? This is a long split. Oh, is this the... This is the copter one. Missile copter. So on this stage, we don't have a weapon. Our goal is to try and pick up a weapon halfway through the stage, and that'll let us ink paths and actually make it to the end. So during this stage, this missile copter right here will be firing missiles at us, and we're going to need it to break boxes and hit switches, and we're going to need his help at the start to actually do things. So our first goal is to use missile guy over here to break this set of boxes. Which we can do like so. Just dodge the rest so you don't get your armor broken, and then grab the key, and that'll get us out of this first section. And then we're going to Death Abuse here. And what this will do, it'll reset the missile copter's timings. So he's actually going to fire missiles right as we cross past the switch now. And this will go and make this platform get over to where we are. Then we can hop down to this ledge. Ignore that. We're going to do it again, alright? We're doing it again, apparently. We could hop over to this little ledge. We could hop over to where the Gloogadoolies are and have to skip a... We could skip a missile cycle with that. That's not like a very big time save. It just kind of looks cool that we can just go over that little rail. And then just got to be careful with these sponges. There's going to be more missiles coming my way very soon. Oh, that's a... Mistakes were made. Mistakes were made. You never want to go there. That's too early. I'm going to lose so much time for that blunder now. Oh well. Make it work. You want to make sure those missiles are hitting sponges that you're not crossing at the time. Otherwise, you're going to have problems. And we're going to be using our dualies to move these switches, and that will take us to this ending. And there you go. Out of there. Next up, B16. And here in B16, we have a bunch of these balloons to take out. Essentially 50 balloons will spawn in set locations, and you just have to memorize where the balloons are going to spawn and snap around, take these out. As you can see, I need to spend a bit more time here because I'm kind of just like questioning like, oh, where are the actual balloons? I'm like remembering some certain cycles to it. Like there's a 2 and 2 cycle here, but I kind of forgot it was there. So that was going to be another one here. It was like that kind of stuff. And this one's up top. What is that inking? You really have to ask sometimes, like, what is that? Come on. Splatter shot, cooperate. 7 will spawn around you here. You just throw a bomb, takes out most of them. Take out these 2. Last one spawns up top. And bang. There you go. Alright, that is the B line clear. One of the longer lines. But we got it done. Now we're going into a very comedic stage. It's called one-shot station. You actually can take 2 technically. I don't know if I do need to take 2 here. I might miss it the first time. This stage, it looks simple, but it can be deceptively hard. So you just have to line up and try to take out all 60 of these boxes in a single shot. You can actually get that last box with a shot. I just wasn't close enough to it. So now I have to wait for the balloons to line up again. And you can see using my second shot there before it actually kills me and doing the one-shot station in 2 shots. Little convenient trick there. Helps a little bit. Actually, hold on just one moment. Alright, I'm back. Continuing on, I just got interrupted as well. Next up, the charger station. We're going to be using the charger and the splat bomb to go throughout this station. We line up the full charge through a line of ink furlers to unravel them all at the same time. You can also hit 2 of those at the same time with a partial. Just a little bit faster is all. And then you don't actually have to take out any of these enemies. It's just that, you know, Twinticles firing at you does damage. Painful. Ouch. We'll be going up here, inking this. And then we'll just... Well, that was a scream. Yeah. Some primal roar as I mess up something on a stage. Yep. Typical Lantro. That'll get us through there. It'll get us through there. I think this is a baller station? Nope. Thinking later. Do 3 different tap shots onto that fan. Then we can full charge this one and pick up these 2 switches without having to do like a full rotation and whatever. Just make sure to shoot that before the platform rotates and knocks you off. And then the goal here is to just make sure this platform is always in motion, essentially. Just try to keep it in motion as much as you can. The charger makes it hard because you're running out of ink constantly, but just trying to keep it moving, have some momentum. Get a few shots, just keep it moving. And you can take out that big guy. And then there you go. There's your stage. It's really hard to ink manage in that section to be perfectly optimal, if you ask me. But we get it done. We get it done. Now we'll be going into DO5. This one, we have a bunch of 8 balls and 7 different gates that we need to essentially shoot them through. So it's a matter of managing your ink tank and hitting as many of these switches as you can. I make the decision that's just like, okay, this switch I could probably get with the 8 ball that's at the back there. So I'm going to grab the extra ink from that tank, and then I'm just going to go all the way around for this guy. Makes that shot pretty easy. There you go. And then I lined up this one earlier with my first 8 ball. Just so that I can get this one for free. Because it's not like that 8 ball is going to do anything after I get the first one, right? So, there you go. Line it up, get it all done. Alright. So this is the baller stage I was thinking about. Okay. Dude, it goes too hard. Holy shit. I didn't mean to say that. Sorry. HO2 baller stage. Essentially, we'll do a baller explosion there, and it'll keep that further moving throughout the whole thing. Dodge these ink missiles before they actually hit your ball. It won't actually do damage to you. It just does a lot of knockback and makes this slower. So you want to dodge all the missiles that you can, especially those ones that are moving across, which just barely get. And then this ending is the biggest trolling section you've ever seen, alright? Because, like, there's all 4 of these enemies right here. They're all firing shots at you. And you're just trying to get to this ending, but it's, like, so hard to scissor between them. Just, like, get me there. Get me there. Please, just get the stage done. It's bad. You beg and plead with the game, but the game just doesn't want to give it to you. It's quite simple. I mean, the main reason I wanted to do post-commentary for this run specifically is because I got super heated in this run. Like, I got mad at this game. This run was... It made me very tilted very quickly, and I was, like, so done with it by the end. So I'm just trying to explain the all missions run in a more relaxed and calm manner, because sometimes this category is the biggest soul drainer ever when you're trying to actually get a PB. Now, if you're just trying to demonstrate it as a marathon, completely different story. You're just chatting and making jokes with your pals the whole time, right? But, like, when you're doing this by yourself and you're getting serious with a lot of the RNG stages, it can be so brutal. That's how I see it, at least. It's just like, oh yeah, I lost 3 minutes to 8-ball cannon shenanigans. Like, I'm having a great time right now. Yeah, for sure. Anyway, this is another tower stage. This one's, like, extremely simple. Way more simple than the last one. Just because a lot of the enemies are, like, easier to get to. This one lands on your tower. It is gone. No, it's not. I missed the time of the bomb. Never mind. That one spawns over there. Just throw another bomb. Keep it. How'd that bomb not hit? What? Get out of here with your stingray. Essentially, we just want to take out this enemy. I fell off the tower, which is unoptimal, because now I'm gonna lose a little bit of time on the split. You want to be on the tower the whole time to keep it moving. This one does a splashdown. Splashdown's a very well programmed special, and the reason that it doesn't work, if you're hiding behind a wall when a splashdown tries to hit you, it will do 0 damage. This will be absurdly important later for Inner Agent 3. The only way we're going to actually be able to make Inner Agent 3 consistent is by the fact that splashdowns don't do damage through walls, and there are walls in the Inner Agent 3 fight. We will be using them. It's the only way we're going to make Phase 5 decent. It's the only way. Anyway, This one's just a blaster stage with a bunch of boxes, and to get like less and less visibility as you go through it. I do like some very safe strats there. You could do a hop-off thing with the last box, but it also requires you getting good blaster shot RNG, which it can be extremely bad sometimes, so what I do is just a lot safer in that regard. This stage is kind of a cycle-based thing with spreaders, and you're using the Hydra Splatling. This thing is extremely clunky. I hate this weapon. It's so slow and counterintuitive. So we're trying to get past this spreader before these twinicles troll us. Now, unfortunately, I get trolled and fall all the way down, baby. Now, at this point, there's no reason just to, like, not take out these enemies, because, like, they're gonna break my armor. And now I'm gonna die? And now we have to redo this? So I should have taken out that twinicle earlier. I don't know. I really just got trolled on this stage. I tried to get up that wall. The Hydra didn't connect shots. It didn't let me get up that wall. It's really just that simple. Like, I tried. Anyway, we're gonna be hitting this switch. Sending it all the way down. And then going up this platform. You can see why now I struggled to get ahead in this run. I'd get close, and then something like that would happen. You could also hop around that block there instead of waiting for it. A little dangerous, but I want a time save at this point. I'm greedy. I was not having an absolute blast at this point in the run, but that's okay. Everything will be fine soon. I hardly see green in this run, is the thing. Like, I get green near the end, I go back to red, I'm pretty sure, and then I save the rest of my time in Inner Agent 3, and that's the only reason this run PvP'd. Like, this run was messy. This run was really messy. But you gotta roll with the punches in all missions. You make mistakes, but you can't get too stressed out about it. You gotta just work with what you got on you. Find the time saves. Next up, Goose Station. Waddle waddle. That's the H line done. In this stage, we are once again in Inkjet. Going throughout, we're just going to be shooting a bunch of boxes and just like progressing our path forward. It's very much just a get to the end stage, which is nice. You don't even need to use any of these ink rails or paths or whatever. You can just Inkjet jump over all that stuff. Take out this and then just hop on this platform. Thrusters will keep you up and rising. The thrusters. Oh, oh, oh. Brown. You can hop around this ink stick once it's favorable. You can get there earlier and skip having to wait, but I didn't have that happen this run. That's okay. And we waddle waddle across those grates. That's why it's called Goose Station. You silly goose. And we just gotta clear out all of these enemies. I hit the wall there. Good one. It was a good one. It was really funny. And then I missed. Now we're going up. There you go. And now we're going to be going to D10. This is basically the intro that you would do for hero mode backwards. And we're using the Bamboozler. It's a pretty fun weapon. There's a lot of Bamboozler fans out there. This thing charges up very fast as a charger, but it doesn't do 100 damage that you would need to take out players or whatever. But also, it always has full range when you're shooting it, no matter how much charge you have. So that aspect is nice. Now make sure you don't die here. Make yourself a path, just make sure to dodge the shots, get your armor back, and then jump across. It's very often that you'll get your armor broken there. There's like a pretty low chance, actually, that you'll keep your armor through that section. So you'll often have to wait. Which is fine. You make it work. But there you go, that's your stage. Now, the next stage is just going to be a bunch of targets on moving spinners, and we're going to use the blaster to take them all out. Hey! I'm listening to that. Wait, what? Okay. So yes, blaster, spinning targets. You basically just need to time out the range of the blaster to hit these and then progress to the next one. Progressively a little bit more difficult each time, but nothing we can't handle with a few good shots. Next up, JO7. This is the cycle, right? This is the cycle stage. So we're going to be using a slosher in kind of like a labyrinth-like stage. And there is a cycle with the platform at the end. So essentially, we are just trying to hustle through this stage so we can make that cycle. Two sloshes to go to all that, and then you just go across. And we curl through here and jump around. We go around and break this box. And then we're all good. So I got my armor broken here. That's very scary, considering, you know, there's a gunner on you, right behind you, that is trying to take you out. I somehow live. Don't ask how. I don't know either. Go up on this platform. The cycle is right there. You're trying to get there before the platform rises, and I just barely got there. The armor break made that very difficult, but I still made it work. So we'll get the time save. Much needed time save, true. Too. Like, this run's struggling. This run was struggling at this point. Like, and it's about to get worse, I'm pretty sure. Because I think I die a couple times here. This is Octo Samurai. Instead of, you know, in hero mode you fight this thing with a roller usually. We're fighting with the baller this time, and baller explosions. And the thing about the baller is that you take a ton of knockback from this guy. So it's very easy to just get hit by one of his flicks and just get flung off the stage. Because there's very limited grates that'll actually stop you. So there is a pretty good chance just getting hit by any of these roller swings, you'll die. And that's not very cool. I'm not a fan of that. So you're basically just trying to bob and weave around his different flicks. And try to do explosions to do enough damage. Continue on with phases. So essentially how this works, if you do 2 full explosions and 1 tap of damage, he will progress to his next phase. Or he'll try to do a spin. Sorry. He'll try to do a spin instead to take you out. You're just trying to time out damage too. We'll deal with the phase. That first phase was very nice. It's like you do the 2 explosions, you do the 1 tap, you wait for the spin, or try to jump over it if you're feeling ballsy, but that can be very precise. So what you can do there, you can actually get the baller stuck while Samurai falls back down with the roller. And do a ton of damage like that. I kind of missed it here, but it's okay. Now he's going to hop over, do another explosion as he's jumping. And, oh, that almost killed me. Okay. Dodge the spin. Keep putting on damage. Ah! Scary. But that's phase 2. Done deal. Now we just have the last phase. He starts doing vertical flicks now. These things do more knockback than the other ones, which, you know, that's just something I'm just a great fan of, man. It is what it is, I suppose. You're spinning around, basically. Whoa, don't get too aggressive. Oh! Okay. So the reason I did that, right? Usually, when you do the 2 hits and the 1 tap, he'll do like a spin attack, right? And that's got like a big delay of animation or whatever. He didn't do that. He kept doing these attacks, which is just like, why? Like, see? The spin? Where was that last time? That's what I ask the game. It's just like, well, where was that spin? That's what I was banking on, and I would have been able to survive just fine with that. But that didn't happen. I died instead. So you know what? I lost time. It happens, man. It just happens. You think you're outsmarting this boss, and then the boss just knocks you off and ruins your day. So I don't get the time save here. In fact, I think I lose a little bit. Get like a 415 or something. It's not pretty. But it's all missions. You gotta work with what you got. A 408. Not the worst ever, but like, yeah. You gotta work with what you got. We're in all missions mode, so do what you can. Oh yeah, I mentioned earlier I was gonna talk more about pause glitch when we got to Cubular. We're gonna get to Cubular. So when you put a little bit of ink onto a switch and you pause the game, if about half of the switch is inked, you pause the game, that pause will auto-fill that switch and it will activate it for you. And you can use that tactically here. So we're gonna partially ink some switches, go away from the main spinning cube that like has all the switches, and we can do pause glitch and tactical points to do rotations that you would usually not be able to do. You'll see what I mean here pretty soon. We're gonna get up to this next point. Get a bunch of ink back. And we'll go down here and grab these 2 data points. And what we'll do here, we'll go up to this point, and we're going to put 1 shot onto a switch for a pause glitch later. That's our pause glitch switch. This is the one that we need to hit right now. So we'll get this data point, get some ink back, and then we'll go for this data point. And then we're going to go away and use the pause glitch now. This will rotate it. Then we can go for this last data point. We can get another pause glitch set up here, get closer to this side, and then we can activate it and jump down and finish the stage. Super cool route. Using the pause glitches to our advantage is just, oh, it's so satisfying. It's so satisfying. So this is another Rainmaker stage. The weapon you choose here doesn't matter that much. The sloshing machine is just a little faster because you can throw a bomb and then do a slosh and it'll break the Rainmaker a bit quicker. But not like a big deal. And now, we're going to be going throughout here. We're going to time out a shot here for when these dualies spawn so we can take them out. Take out the splash wall before it activates. And then start firing a bunch of shots here. We basically need to take out all 3 of the Octolings here. So we need to take out that one. We need to take out that one. There's going to be a 3rd one that spawns here. This one also needs to go down. Then we'll take out the wall. And then we can climb up the pedestal and finish the stage. So, would you look at this? I'm back in the green. Oh my god. There's no way. I think I stay in the green for like 2 splits, most. Okay? Like, I think everything's just so great. And then I think it just goes downhill so fast. Like, this little bit of green does not stay for long at all. Weapon moment. You want to be on the pro deco instead of the pro, just because this thing has more range. And as you can see by like these grapplings from far away, you want the range. The range is just very nice here. I don't know how I pressed Y there of all things, but sure. There you go. That's all of those switches, and then I can just jump up to here and hit that. And then we just have to hit this last grappling, which is kind of RNG because of how blaster spread works. We're staying in the green! Holy man. The biggest miracle of this run, staying in the green. It doesn't happen often. I'm in the red for like 90% of this speedrun, dude. But this is similar to the Matchmaster station we did earlier, except far more simple. Just gonna use the squeezer to make a dog. What the dog doing? So we'll take out a bunch of these boxes, then we take out this row, gap for the feet, and then we do this top part. Do all this, and then we can start making a hole for this mid part. Tap, 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 get the corner, do the sides of this tail. 1 row here, and then for the ears. Done. Not too bad. This stage, I don't know why it's on the C line when it's so complex, but got a bunch of invisible path here, so we're taking a lot of jumps. We know how a lot of these platforms work in advance, so you take a lot of these jumps and make them look a lot less scary than they actually are. So I think this is where the incident happens. So I'm like clearly very smart, right? So I ink this up, right? And then I just don't jump. I just don't jump towards it. For whatever reason, 8 brain just goes and activates. And it's like, okay, I guess I have to go around the whole thing again? Like, why did I do that? That's just like, why did I do that? Why did I do that? You gotta ask yourself this sometimes. Like, what are you doing, Ginger? Come on. Such a bad mistake. I'm gonna be in the red again because of it. Like, why do you do this? Anyway, more invisible path. Take out those enemies, throw 2 curls here, then you can fall down. Because there will be a plat there, and then you can ink yourself a path up and go forward. Gonna get some ink back before hitting the switch. Now the fact that I actually did not connect with that platform there still baffles me to this day. But fine, I'm doing it again. So I take my sweet time that time. Like, that should have worked the first time, but it's just... Here we are. Deal with it. It's all missions. Figure it out. I was green for 3 splits. I'm back red. But you know what? That's what it is. This is all missions. You gotta find your way forward. Now, there's a billion octocopters here, and somehow the octocopter actually hit a switch and made it progress. Like, I didn't hit that, dude. Like, what was that, man? Like, I'm just trying to get out of the stage. You don't gotta bully me at this point. Like, you've done enough. You've done enough to me. I'd like to leave. Get me out of here, please. We're done here. We're done here. Next up, C10. Oh no. Is it the one I'm thinking of? Oh no. Oh no. Something really bad happens here. So on this line, this is a stage where you don't want to take damage for 30 seconds. I think I have a bit of a meltdown here because I was unable to complete the stage the first few times, I think. And I lost a lot of time because of that. So first things first, let's deal with the sniper. And then fail, you know, focusing too hard on making an easy path that I got hit by the sniper. And you know, I have to redo the whole 30 seconds again from when these balls get onto the ground. Like, this loses so much time. Like just so much time, man. Breath of the Wild Bingo Bash? Yeah, I would not know what I'm doing. Yeah, this time, playing it a lot safer, just focused way more on dodging. Get through it. I'm a minute behind again. These sorts of things happen in OE. You make one small mistake, you're a minute behind. What are you gonna do about it? Like, you gotta figure it out. Not much you can do about it now. The mistake happened, so let's keep going. Another 8-ball stage for the fans. Firing this 8-ball down. Through these switches and whatnot. So you're basically just keeping the 8-ball going, activating switches when you can, moving forward when possible. It's a pretty simple clear the stage 8-ball kind of layout. Hit this switch and it'll rotate the platform so the 8-ball can just keep progressing. It like makes the path as you hit switches. Like, you gotta hit this switch so the bottom platform actually rotates. And then there you go. Save a little bit of time. And I need it because we're struggling here. We're struggling for time save now. My best possible time's at 3:01, but a lot of it's fairly hard, and I think more bad things happen pretty soon. That just really stopped me from ever getting ahead until like the very end of this run. I don't think I'm green until like the last 5 splits, I'm pretty sure. Like, yeah. Like, the early on all mission stuff was really bad. The middle part of it was okay. Like, it was fine. And then we get to like the very end and like it gets bad again. Oh yeah, there was a stingray there. I wanted that. I wanted that, okay? The stingray helps you like clean up a lot of the enemies, but I missed it. And now I just gotta like rotate it again. Jump shot, bang, bang, and bang. There you go. C08 done. So now we're getting into another 8-ball stage. CO7. This one's actually kind of cool. I think I might lose time here, but the fastest strategy is technically to use the Octo brush, but the Octo brush is just not very reliable for moving this 8-ball around a lot of the time. So also I don't know why I just went up there instead. The seams of the fences are extremely weird and can just kill you sometimes. We don't really know why. So we're going to be trying to get a bunch of 8-balls accumulated for the ending section, because there's going to be a bunch of things that we have to break with the 8-balls. There's 3 different 8-balls throughout the stage, and we want to have all 3. You can do it with 1, technically, but like it's going to be way faster at the end just to have all 3 of the 8-balls. I bounce it off at that end so I can like get pushed by this platform. Movement optimization moment. Get it in there, and then we'll just grab this 3rd 8-ball while we're here. Then all 3 of the 8-balls, just send them to the end, and we essentially need to deal with this big stack over here of targets. So we need 8-balls to get close to us, and we're going to try and shoot them and slow their momentum so we can get them to impact the actual point. Now, as you can see, this is a little difficult to actually perform, because getting a chain of them to actually hit, precise! And they're bouncing around like crazy. Like, this is a hard thing to control. But we get through it. I believe the incident's coming up in a couple stages. Not excited for that. This stage is cool, though. So there's 20 boxes on this spinning cube right here, and we essentially just want to take out all of these in the minimal amount of rotations possible without, you know, being Hawken and doing this in 12 seconds, because the strats for that are absolutely mental and super easy to die on. So we do a bit of a safer route here, take out these first 2. Big box takes 2 full charges, or the big orange box. The big yellow box is 1 full charge. Take out all these small boxes, and then tap, full charge for you. Take out these 2 small ones, it starts turning again. Clear these out, and then we're going to take out this big one by doing some jumps. I said by doing some jumps. There you go, and then you can charge up for that one, and that'll take out the box. Really just the time save I needed right now. Like, we're in a tough spot in this run to try and bring this back, and I needed the time save in my life. Now the real problem, so here's the thing about my old PP, right? In CO4, I died twice. I had a minute of time save. Okay? So you would think I would be ahead out of CO4. Surely I would not make the same mistake again, right? Spoiler warning, I am not ahead out of CO4. I am more in the red. So This run... Lots of errors. Lots of things I need to work on still. Some things in my control, some things out of my control. And that's the nature of all missions, in the end. Gotta roll with the punches. Some bad things are... You'll lose minutes in spots you thought you would not lose minutes before, but you gotta just adapt to what you see on the fly. But it'll get us through that stage. I didn't even really explain that one a whole lot. We did a couple nollie jumps, used bounce pads, rails, balloons, that kind of stuff. Yeah, you can see here, minute and 10 seconds of time save. I'm getting none of this. Not a single second of this time save. So on this stage, 30 seconds of dodging enemy shots. Essentially, the strat that people like to do is to just time to the beat of the music. Essentially, you time like moving to the beat of the music and then dodge shots like that. You can also just kind of hop around some of the shots by just going off at the end right here. How do I fail this? Oh no, come on, no! 0.13, you have gotta be joking. That's like the most painful death ever. Cause like, I did it. I was perfectly fine. I don't know why I went forward. I can't go back and ask, like, okay, why did I go forward there? I was like, I don't know. A fail, for sure. And then I'm pretty sure what happens is that I die again. Cause like, I'm done at this point. Like, I'm checked out. I'm not happy with my speedrun anymore. Yeah. Like, I die again. Okay. The shots are hard to dodge. And then Pearl and Marina, once you do 100%, they offer you to let you skip the stage. That's banned in this category. You can't do that. So, we're doing this again, okay? We're doing this a third time. No death abuse here. Get back in there. Finish the stage. I'm not done with you. And this is why the estimate that I would give for this category is 3 hours and 20 minutes. Because stuff like this will happen. You'll die once, your mental gets shattered, and you just need to finish it. But there you go. We're done. Get me out of that stage. I just lost a minute and 30 seconds on one stage. All missions moment. All missions moment. We could truly just agree on this. That is an all missions certified classic. 71 stations done. Done with the C line. That thing's huge. We've got 9 more stations to go, and then Inner Agent 3. So we're getting close to the end of this run now. Yeah, didn't want to select the blaster there. The Jet Sculpture is what you want here, just because it has a ton of range for popping all these balloons. Pop all the balloons, dodge the spinners. You can throw a bomb here, and that takes out a bunch of them. Then using the Jet Sculpture's range, you can stay up here instead of like going down the intended path. Just break up a ton of the balloons. I kind of fell through the fence there. Usually you can just hop around, but it's all good. We'll make it work. Take out this balloon, and you can throw a bomb here to break the boxes and the balloons at the same time, and then get the last one. Not too bad. Not the best. Not the worst. That's essentially the attitude of this run now. Like, after what happened in CO4, it's just like, we gotta do something with this run, okay? Like, I know I'm behind, but I know I have time save in Inner Agent 3, so I gotta get there. Now, this is FO6. Is this the run that has another incident here? I had a run fairly recently that died twice here. I don't think this is it, because, I'm behind already. Like, if I died twice here, I don't understand how this would PB at that point. But you have all of these bombers. Little bombs. You can damage boost through there. It's pretty scary to do so. So I just opted out of doing it there. Then you have this dash copter. These things are the absolute most annoying mob in this game. Truly. They really are just designed to be absolutely annoying to kill with a blaster, if you ask me. So it takes me forever to clean that up, but we're good now. Now you don't actually have to take out all these enemies. Eventually the launch pad will just spawn, so you just go to it. No need to take them out. From here, this UFO up top is going to be dropping bombers. Could be using the blaster to take them all out. Now it's going to start spawning some tougher enemies. Essentially what you want to do here, you want to make like some paths. There's going to be 4 twinicles dropped onto the center pretty soon. And you just want to have paths so you can move around for when that happens. So it's going to happen now. Throw a bomb, take them all out. Essentially you want to get back into your own ink without being seen too much, so you have like a nice area to still stand in. And we're going to wait this out until the launch pad spawns. We don't actually have to take out any more enemies now. You just really don't want to be an enemy egg. But there we go. We're out of there. We're out of there. Get me out of FO6! Now, we're going to go to FO3. This is an auto-scroller. 30 balloons, auto-scrolling T thing with the spinners occasionally trying to block you. Use the jet squelcher, take out balloons. Oh, we have perfect amount of time for donations. We have a $10 donation here from 8-Ball Enjoyer. I don't know why you're dissing all the 8-Ball stages. They're my favorite stages of all time, streamer. And we have a $50 donation from Agent 8. How did you clear girl power so quickly? I believe you actually must be cheating. That's just not possible. There's no way you made it look easy. That's the hardest stage of all time. Anyway, if I'll stop joking around, there's been balloons just going around this whole time. There's not really much to talk about here, just because, like, it's all just platforms just going forward. You hit balloons as they get close to you. There's one, like, behind the pillar here. That one's kind of easy to forget, but, like, I've done this a few times. Like, I think I'll be okay. Open up this platform, dodge the spinner. Not too bad. Not too bad. There you go. It's FO3 done. Next up, FO2. What is this one again? Is this stop stages with the hammer? Yes. So we're gonna be using the Squiffer and the Burst Bomb here. And there's going to be a bunch of switches that stop moving platforms, and we're just gonna be progressing once they are stopped. Using move platforms to our advantage as well. Like you see at the end, we'll do something like a hammer skip. I think it's called hammer skip. I've shown this off before at like a hotfix that we did with Fu. We could do like a little skip here. I showed off like some OE tricks that I knew at the time, because like, let's be honest. At that time, I think I had a 110 PB in OE. Like I was bad. In OE any percent. That was like still me getting out of my baby steps of OE. Now I like almost have a 107. I would have a 107 if I didn't get rolled yesterday, but that's besides the point. Hammer skip, okay? Hop onto this hammer as it is rising up. And you could throw a burst bomb, and you could stay in your ink and hop over instead of doing the path the intended way. Saves like 10 seconds. It's a cool skip. I'm a fan. Okay. So as you can see, there are very few stages left in this metro. I'm still behind, okay? I've been in red for the vast majority of this all missions. It's been something, okay? We got one more boss. Octo Stomp. And this time, he's going to be armed with a ton of different buckles that we have to take out. And instead of having a nice charger for taking out buckles, we have the stick instead, the bamboozler. This thing doesn't do anywhere near as much damage, and they have way more health too. So, it takes a lot longer with this thing. The stick. So here we go. Main thing with the bamboozler, you may have the range from a tap shot, but you don't have the damage, so you do need to charge up all your shots. Because the range is nice, but we really do need damage output with this thing to actually make it useful. So there you go. That's the first phase. The second phase, I would say, is the hardest one, because there's going to be these buckles on the sides of him. These are like pretty tricky to hit. You can actually hit these buckles while in front of him with some well-placed shots. Now, assuming I could actually hit the buckles, like, I just don't have ink here. That's two of them down. Now we just have this one on the left side. So you can see I'm kind of like getting some cursors from time to time. It's just like, yeah, I actually can hit this buckle while he's facing towards me. But that didn't really matter a whole lot here. Kind of just used the stomp to my advantage. Now he's doing a second one where he kind of just like rapid fires off another stomp. If you keep moving, you see him getting back up quickly. Just throw a curl to the side and you'll be able to dodge it. Don't have enough ink for a curl, just do a quick full charge. Don't panic. It'll be okay. And there you go. This is phase 3. This time, all 3 of the buckles are kind of facing towards you, just kind of spread apart. He's going to fire a lot of bubbles in this phase and try to like blow them up and do like a big explosion to damage your armor. It's not that scary. The main problem is that these bubbles just tend to block your way. He also starts doing these big stomps where he'll shake around like crazy. And it's like, as you can see, it is hard to hit him on these big stomps. He's just not staying still. Please stay still, buddy. And yes, as I mentioned, the bubbles now, but we got it dealt with. And there we go. That's the tentacle. So I believe I will be seeing the green again? Did I start seeing green? Is it finally back? Is she finally alive again? I think so. The green. Oh my god. Well, the gold first, but like, yeah. The green! 76 done. We're close now. We're getting there. Now we have E11. This stage is 8 data points scattered around a rotating square. This stage can be pretty brutal. I'm going for a kind of safer route here that doesn't do a lot of the dangerous strats. But you do have to hit some of these sloshes kind of precisely. And make sure you don't get armor breaks in a couple of spots. It's definitely not free. So I'll throw a bomb here, try to get some ink back, and then I'll fall down to this data point, turn around, hit the switch, get this data point, strafe around, and then we're going to wait a bit for this one. And, oh. I just disagree with that. Like, if we're gonna be honest between you and me, I just disagree with that happening. But like, I can't believe what I'm seeing right now. I can't believe. I should be able to get to that one though. Oh no, we're falling again. Okay. Yeah, there's no way you're saving that. You gotta go die again and figure it out from there. This is the most scuffed route ever, but you know what? It'll get us through in the end. It's just like it's not fast, you know? I could have been so much more ahead, but here we are, struggling. But she's still green. And as long as it's green, everything will be okay. The unfortunate part about this run is that it's gonna go to red one more time. Did you actually think we were gonna be staying in green for the rest of the run? I wish. I wish. No, we're going to be going to red one more time. Just once more, though. And it won't be for long. But we got a couple more stages. First off, this one was just a bunch of boxes. You can get a splashdown to take out a ton of them, and then just finish it up with a brush. Pretty simple. Technically, that's faster with the charger, but it's also really precise. And then EO9, we're going to have a bunch of squeegees here, giant squeegees. These things are aggroed by shots and sub-weapons. So the blaster with the splat bomb is honestly pretty nice for it. Good squeegee aggroing gear. Unfortunately, there's still giant squeegees, and these things are kind of random, so you just gotta work with what you got. So now we're just trying to take out all these twinicles. You can take them out above their shields. It's just that sometimes they really don't cooperate. The squeegee can take them out for you, but you also really need to be able to do them yourself. Oh, that shouldn't have worked. Go to this corner, hop across, barely get on there. And then we only need to take out the big enemies here, so we'll throw one at that sniper, and then take out that sniper, give us the jump pad. And then we can make a path to our end here. And then we're going forward. Make a path to this ink rail. And get on up there. We'll take out this guy. Now the fact that he put that bomb there does a little bit of trolling, because now this guy, he doesn't want to stay straight, right? He doesn't want to stay straight and launch us forward. He wants to clean up the whole bomb explosion. That's the issue. So that just leads into me dying. So I have to like do it again. It's fine. We'll figure it out. Not a whole lot of time saved to work off of now, but we'll figure it out, man. Like, we've gotten this far. one small issue. This split. Bad things happen this split. It starts out okay. This split works. There's a bunch of boxes that'll open up doors, and you only have splat bombs to break them. So you're just trying to line out splat bombs to where these boxes are on tower platforms. I messed up the ending though. I'll explain when we get there. But the stage itself is actually pretty cool. So yes, on those towers, just line up bombs onto each side. You can't hit 4 with a single bomb. It's just very precise. It's honestly just a lot safer just to use 2 bombs if you're already there. And then you could go all the way around here. You also could just jump from this corner, throw the bomb, take out the gunner. And then we just gotta take out the rest of these. I almost fall off there. That would have been embarrassing. You know what is embarrassing though? This ending. So how this works is that there's an octoling up there where the data point is. And you could take it out with a bomb and it will spawn the launch pad to take you to the ending. You don't even have to worry about any of the other enemies. One small issue. I forget how to throw this bomb. Like for some reason, I just forget how to throw this bomb. And I just go too far forward and I die. Because you need to like put a little momentum on it for this to actually work, right? And when I said I forget how to throw this bomb, I meant I forgot how to throw this bomb, okay? I fail it twice. Because, you know, why wouldn't I want to be red before Inner Agent 3? That'd be crazy. You wanted to be green? Ah, that's a little weird. Here we go. I remember how to throw the bomb. Are you proud of me? God, it's such a mess. This run is such a mess. I need to improve this PB soon, but I just want to do 80% right now. But it's okay. Inner Agent 3. You've probably heard this from this fight before, that it's just like insanely difficult. And it is. Like, this is a very, very hard fight. The hardest in the Splatoon series. It's like somewhat reliable. I'm kind of like coin flip consistency for me getting it first try. It kind of depends on how the fight opens up. How the bombs line up. Does Agent 3 go into Inkjet? What actually happens, essentially? So you menu over to Central here. That was terrible menuing, by the way. We don't talk about it, though, okay? So, menu over to Central, and we go over to the locker. And we are going to try and wrap this up. So here we go. Inner Agent 3. Hardest fight in the series. And if I want to PB this run, I have to get this first try. There's really, like, I don't have any leniency anymore. Like, this run has had too many problems. It comes down to me just getting this first try. So phase 1, eventually, Inner Agent 3 will go into an Inkjet and try to take you out. It throws an auto bomb. The auto bomb will chase you. You want to just, like, make sure this thing's blowing up away from you and not breaking your armor at that time. Phase 2. It's going to throw out the bubble blower. Now, if it throws a bomb into this bubble blower, it'll insta-blow up a bubble, and it will kill you. Like, it will break your armor, and if you get your armor broken in this fight, it's generally, like, you are going to die. Like, you need to avoid armor breaks at all costs. Phase 3, auto bomb launcher. So there's going to be a lot of auto bombs trying to chase me. Just trying to read where these rolls are, blow up all these auto bombs before we go into phase 4. Phase 4, it's gonna go up top and it's gonna fire out 10 missiles. So we're just gonna try to land 2 bombs up there. Takes them out. Phase 5, now there's going to be splashdowns. We're gonna be using the walls to our advantage by not taking damage, poking a couple of shots. Now, the thing about Inner Agent 3, first off, yes, I got my armor broken here. I'm panicking, okay? Like, I am scrambling to try and save this, because any of these shots that Inner Agent 3 pulls out will just kill you. The thing about Inner Agent 3, it also panic splashdowns when it gets really low on health. So you need to be ready for that. I get my armor broken again. But thankfully, it starts splashdowning. So I'm actually able to get my armor back. And it goes up, I splashdown cancel it, and that is time. Octo expansion, all missions. Completed in a fairly reasonable amount of time. Now, okay. If we go to the leaderboards right now, where we're at, I am currently 7th here. I want to work on this time, but it's still a solid time, and I do feel like this category would be a great fit because it would show off so much more of Octo expansion that's just never been seen before at a GDQ. So that is my last submission. Thank you for watching, and see you later. Peace out.